But I want to talk a little bit about Concord, why it failed, and yeah. So let's just jump right into it, shall we?
Yep, that's me.
I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better. I am better.
So I recorded a whole video talking about why I thought Concord had failed and why they ultimately shut down Concord PlayStation, why they shut down Concord. And I was in the middle of editing it, and I was getting ready to upload it, and I seen something on X with Colin Moriarty saying something about how much Concord cost to develop. And I halted the video right then and there. So that's what we're just going to jump into right now. So let's go ahead and move on over. Oh, yes, by the way, you still can pre-order the PlayStation 5 Pro console as of October 2nd. This is in the middle of the night. It's like 1:30 in the morning. And I can, yes, add this to the cart. Now, this is all side note. The 30th anniversary, of course, is unavailable. This is like the big ticket number that people are putting on eBay and so on for up to $4,000 or $5,000. I've seen outrageous numbers that these scalpers are really trying to sell people for. But this is kind of the things that you get for $1,000. You get the stand, you get the disc drive with it, you get 2 controllers. But either way, the regular PS5 Pro standard is still available to purchase. So if you're interested, you go ahead and check it on out, Sony's website. But anyways, so Colin Moriarty has some source internally at PlayStation who had told him that the cost for Concord was a full $400 million, broken up into 2 halves of development. And he talks about it here. I'm not going to play it. You can check out his Twitter if you would like. But here at Forbes, it looks like they broke down kind of what happened before the game hit alpha state. They had already spent $200 million before an alpha state. That's kind of crazy. Unclear how much from original owners and investors and how much from Sony. After that, from 2021 to 2024 launch, Sony spent another $200 million on it. The game was in a laughable shape when it was shown in that alpha state. So Sony felt like they needed to spend that much to get it to a minimal viable product status. That's kind of crazy. A major expense was needed to outsource much of the game to other studios. In Q1 2023, some aspects of the game had not been worked on at all, like onboarding and monetization. I'd say this may explain the price and no battle passes more than some conscious noble decision has changed the model. Also, how bad the earned cosmetics were. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So additionally, ongoing cost to maintain the game would be additional millions a month. Concord is the biggest budget game Sony has ever released, the biggest loss they've ever taken. There are other games being worked on at Sony that cost more than this, but in terms of what's already out, this is the largest. It's a total loss. So they're saying here there's other games that Sony has invested in right now at this moment in time that cost more than Concord. But Concord was a total loss on this new IP. And down here it says, why did it happen? I'm sorry. Concord was said to be the future of PlayStation. They said it was a Star Wars-like project. There was big multimedia plans between the cinematics and inclusion in things like Amazon's Secret Level, which is Amazon's TV show. I don't know if you knew about that. I can't remember when it might be coming out at the end of this year. I'm not sure. Looks very interesting, though. That kind of makes sense, though, given that we see Kratos being a part of Amazon's Secret Level TV show as well. So kind of makes sense that they wanted to put their Concord characters or universe into that show as well. But also, there was a culture of toxic positivity vibe where you could not say anything negative internally about the game, character design, etc. No one was allowed to meaningfully change the course of the game. This was the CEO of Sony, Herman Holst's baby. who was a massive champion of the game. So ultimately, stifling creativity, putting your foot down, being a boss instead of a leader, and saying, let's see what our developers can come up with creatively. Let's see what works, what doesn't work, and lean into that. Instead, it was, this is my way. This is the direction it's going. Don't say anything bad about it because this is going to pay off in the end. And if you say something about it, you're probably going to be reprimanded. So that's kind of the toxic positivity vibe I got. You can't say anything bad about it, especially if it's the CEO of Sony's baby. And just for it to come out a week or two and them completely shut it down. That's actually crazy. The amount of money that they put into this game just for them to be like, nah, we're going to pull it. That's actually insane. It really is. Because here's the thing. Whether it was toxic positivity or fake positivity from these influencers that you see on YouTube and X, where when the beta came out, I played the beta. I have some thoughts on that. But when the beta came out, there were people who were like, yo, this is trash. This is not good at all. And then there were other people who were like, oh, whoever's saying that must not have played the game. Because I love the game. The game is so good. I don't know what you guys are talking about. There was a lot of that going around when clearly the game was not really that good. Now, I played the beta. I'll give some thoughts on it. The beta was a beta, obviously. I'll give you the good things that I liked or that I thought were good about the game. The animations, like reloading your gun, movement, the animations and the art style I felt was pretty solid. I thought it wasn't bad at all. However, that's kind of where it stopped for me. The gameplay is ultimately what is going to hold your game together in the long run. And when I played that beta, the gameplay was absolute trash. It did not feel good. It felt heavy. The TTK was not good at all. The kind of superhero powers that you had really wasn't that great either. It was a meh game. And it's kind of crazy to see something of that magnitude just kind of be kiboshed when you had games that were so hated on, like Redfall or Gotham Knights, that never got shut down, never got pulled, never got refunded. And there are still going to be people that, you know, they're going to find, the fans of those games are going to find that game and they're going to hold that game beloved to their heart. So with Sony just kind of shutting down the whole thing and kind of killing it after all this time of in development, I think it was rumored they said it was something about 8 years in development. But the biggest thing is how much the budget was. $400 million is crazy, especially for them to lose it. It was just a wash. It wasn't even a wash. It was a total loss, as they say here. And it's just another example of stifling creativity and really poor development, I think. At least whenever Redfall comes out and it's not the greatest, you have the head of Microsoft coming out and say, hey, we did a poor job on really helping out this studio push through its development. And even when the studio didn't want to make the damn game, when they begged Microsoft or Xbox, like, please shut this down, we don't want to continue development on this game, they still put out a pretty decent product. Granted, it's not the greatest game. I played Redfall. It's not the greatest game, but it's by far not as bad as what everyone says it is. It's really not. Performance-wise, yeah, it was definitely choppy. There's no excuse for that. And there's no excuse for any game that comes out in a poor, optimized state. But as far as the concept, the art design, I don't know what people were really talking about when it comes to that. The biggest thing for me was the performance kind of sucked all around, not just on the series consoles, but on the PC as well. It wasn't that optimized. But my point is, even from a development team that didn't want to do it, Like they just did not want to develop that. From what we hear, it's all alleged. They still put out a product that was half decent. How do you have a culture with toxic positivity where no one can say no, anything bad about this game, and you still, like, I don't understand. That's the only thing that I can get from this is it's poor leadership. It's not leadership at that point. It's a boss mentality. You do as I say. This is how things are going to go, and that's just the bottom line. You can't have an opinion on it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I mean, Concord was supposed to be the future of PlayStation, huh? How are you going to invest that kind of money into a new IP and really wholeheartedly bank on it being the future of PlayStation when you have clear other IPs that people are begging for? People are foaming at the mouth for you, Sony, to invest into, and you're just ignoring them. You don't care. You are sitting on a gold mine of JRPGs that you own. You are sitting on IPs like Killzone, like Resistance. You're sitting on SOCOM. You're sitting on Jack and Daxter. Like, you're sitting on so many IPs that people love and want more of, and you just don't care. You would rather put your money towards something new just to kind of push agendas. And I'm not really one to say anything like that or bring that up, but it's clear here, if you have toxic positivity and you can't have any kind of criticism about your game, the direction, the art style, the gameplay, none of that, and it has to be, you can't say anything bad about that, I'm sorry, but there has to be some sort of agenda that you're trying to adhere to, that you're trying to push. And that's just kind of how I see it, man. That's just my perspective. But that's all I really have to say about Concord. It sucks that it's gone away. They did say something about how they're pulling it down and they want to see where they can go with it. Whether they do something with the IP, who really knows at this point? It's kind of like a waiting game. But if I had to guess, they're probably not going to do anything with the IP. It's probably be the last that we ever see of this universe. But I could be wrong. But you guys let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. I know I'm a little late to the party on covering the Concord news, but hey, I still felt the need to, express my opinion on this matter. So you let me know what you think down below. And as always, it has been your boy. It's been real, and I am out. Later.
Like a man, like a man, like a man. I come out like a man, like a beast. I do it like a man, like a man, like a man, like a man, like a man.